Hello. I'm Dr. John, and this is the channel where health and education meet. Have you ever tried to focus on something important, but after just 5 minutes, you were scrolling through your Instagram feed without even noticing? Have you ever felt like your day is over and you haven't accomplished anything? It's not a lack of willpower, it's your brain being manipulated by digital stimuli. This video is going to open your eyes. Today, you'll understand how your phone is destroying your discipline, making your brain addicted to dopamine, and turning you into a digital zombie. But the best part, I'll show you how to break free from this. If you want more focus, control over your time, and finally stop procrastinating, stay with me until the end, because this could be the push that changes your entire routine. If you feel like you're always tired, distracted, and nothing you start ever gets finished, this video is for you. It's time to take back your brain, your productivity, and your life. Let's go. There are people who still think they control their own time. Little do they know, their time has already been hijacked by notifications, endless feeds, and viral dances. The phone is not just a device, it has become a digital leash. And the worst part? People accept this as normal. But let's get real here. When you wake up and the first thing you do is touch your phone screen, who's in charge? The human brain is programmable, and the algorithms know that. Every time you get a like, a comment, or a new funny video, your brain releases a dose of dopamine. Sounds harmless, right? But this is the same substance that gives you pleasure from eating chocolate or using drugs. It's not an exaggeration. It's brain chemistry. And it's being manipulated every day while you think you're just killing time. Want a practical example? Try leaving the house without your phone. I bet you'll feel like you've forgotten a part of your body. That's not freedom, it's dependency. And if that sounds heavy, great, it's supposed to. Because the truth is, while you feed this cycle, your productivity is going down. But don't worry, understanding this mechanism is just the first step to taking back control. The hole goes deeper, and it has a name and an address. You know that feeling where you simply can't stop looking at your phone? That reflexive action that makes you open Instagram automatically? Well, it's not weakness, it's programming. Literally. Engineers and behavioral psychologists have spent years perfecting the design of apps for this to happen, for you to become a predictable, addicted user. These platforms were created based on the same principle as slot machines: random rewards. Sometimes there's a notification, sometimes there isn't. And it's this uncertainty that traps you, making your brain keep coming back, like it's gambling in Las Vegas. The difference is that on your phone, you don't lose money, you lose focus, energy, motivation, and hours of your life. And the craziest part? They call it connection. A dopamine-addicted brain starts rejecting anything that requires effort. Reading a book feels boring. Working in silence feels hard. Studying becomes torture. And no, it's not because you have ADHD or an unsettled mind. It's because you've been trained to seek out quick, constant stimuli. But don't worry, if there's programming, there's also reprogramming. And it starts when you see the cycle. The logic is simple, but cruel. You get a stimulus, video, like, message, feel a small reward, dopamine, and soon after, emptiness. That emptiness is what makes you seek the next stimulus. And the next. And the next. It's an invisible cycle that hijacks your focus, prevents you from enjoying simple things, and even convinces you that everything is fine. But it's not. This constant loop steals more than just time. It destroys your sensitivity to rewards. In other words, what once brought you pleasure now feels dull. A walk, a chat with a friend, even watching an entire movie without grabbing your phone becomes a challenge. This explains why so many people feel bored, restless, anxious, even though everything is at the tip of their fingers. It's too much dopamine, in too small doses, all the time. Want to break the cycle? Start by observing your own triggers. What makes you grab your phone without thinking? Boredom? Anxiety? Avoiding a difficult task? Writing down these moments may seem simple, but it's already the start of reversing the process. When you name the addiction, you weaken it. But resisting the urge requires something that's becoming rarer: discomfort. And here's a key word that almost nobody wants to hear. Imagine this: you want to study, but every 5 minutes, a notification pops up. You respond, take a quick look at your feed, lose your train of thought, and half an hour is gone. This isn't a lack of discipline, it's constant sabotage. When your brain gets used to quick rewards, it rejects any activity that promises results only in the long term. Yes, the blame isn't yours, it's the conditioning. Discipline is a mental muscle. But like any muscle, it atrophies if not used. And the constant use of instant stimuli undermines that capacity. Reading 10 pages of a book feels like a Herculean effort. Meditating for 5 minutes turns into torture. Even doing the dishes without music or a podcast feels like wasted time. The brain screams for stimulation, and anything that doesn't offer immediate dopamine is discarded. Want to rebuild your discipline? Start with small goals that force your brain to wait. A good start is the Pomodoro technique: 25 minutes of focus, 5-minute break. Another powerful technique is doing a boring task first thing in the morning, before opening any apps. Like making the bed, writing a paragraph of something important, or reading 3 pages of a book like Steal Like an Artist or The Power of Habit. This is how you retrain your brain to appreciate what truly matters. And speaking of importance, some people know all the memes of the week, but can't remember the last time they had a deep conversation with someone without looking at their phone. It may sound exaggerated, but it's real. Many people are living more in the digital world than in the real one. Every like replaces a hug, every story becomes a conversation that never happened. It's an edited life, with filters, background music, and zero depth. When you spend more time staring at the screen than looking into people's eyes, something's wrong. Real life happens outside the pixels, in the sweat of the gym, the smell of breakfast, the laughter with friends. But the addiction to digital dopamine makes this scene boring. Constant comparison to perfect lives online makes your real life seem dull, when in reality, it's just being ignored. Want a practical exercise? Go for a walk, without headphones, without your phone, without music. Look around. Observe the people. Feel the atmosphere. It may sound silly, but this is how you start reprogramming your brain to live in the present. Because while you're scrolling through others' lives, yours is passing by without a replay. And to start living in the real world again, you need to slow down and understand that being multitasking is not an advantage. Multitasking has become a modern trophy. People brag about replying to emails while watching a series, studying with their phone open, and still messaging in the work group. But here's the truth: nobody is good at multitasking. The brain doesn't do 2 complex things at the same time. It switches focus quickly, and that costs a lot. Every seemingly harmless switch drains your mental energy and slows you down. Studies show that those who try to multitask take up to 40% longer to complete simple tasks. In other words, you're not saving time, you're losing it. And worse, you make more mistakes, tire more quickly, and end the day with that feeling of not having achieved anything. Sound familiar? then maybe what you call productivity is actually pure distraction disguised as efficiency. To turn this around, practice what experts call deep focus. Set blocks of time where only one thing matters. Turn off notifications, close extra tabs, put your phone in another room. Start with 20 minutes and increase it gradually. A good book to help you with this? Deep Work by Cal Newport. When you stop dividing your attention among 1,000 stimuli, you'll discover what real speed is. And for that, you may need a reset. Have you ever tried to go a whole day without touching your phone? Sounds simple, right? But for most people, it's almost impossible. That's because the brain is already addicted to stimuli. The dopamine detox isn't about stopping using technology, it's about stopping the constant search for rewards. It's a reset, a fast from distractions, to teach your brain to find pleasure in the things that really matter. During the detox, the idea is to eliminate artificial stimuli for a while: social media, short videos, pornography, games, anything that gives you quick pleasure without real effort. In the first days, you'll feel boredom, anxiety, even irritation. But soon after, clarity. You'll start thinking more calmly, realize how fast-paced you've been, and feel your focus return as if a veil were being lifted from your eyes. Want a practical routine to try? Start with 24 hours. Take a Sunday for this. Wake up early, read a book like The Miracle Morning, walk without your phone, write in a notebook. Avoid anything that's pure entertainment. In the beginning, it will feel strange. But slowly, your brain will relearn to enjoy silence, effort, and waiting. And it's in that empty space that a different reward is born: raw discipline. When the brain breaks free from the constant bombardment of dopamine, something magical happens. You start thinking clearly again. Ideas flow with more clarity, tough decisions become simpler, and the silent anxiety, the one you didn't even notice, begins to disappear. Mental clarity isn't a luxury, it's survival. And it only appears when you stop numbing the mind with useless stimuli. Discipline starts to be born in this silence. Not the forced kind, full of guilt, but the kind that comes from within because you truly want to take care of your life. Waking up earlier, eating better, working with focus, all of that stops being a sacrifice and becomes part of your identity. You stop acting like a slave to impulses and start living with purpose. That's when you start standing out. Point one example. While most people waste hours on TikTok, you read a chapter of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a FCK star. While others procrastinate on YouTube, you take a walk listening to a podcast on personal development. These small, accumulated acts build a massive advantage. But of course, knowing this isn't enough. It's time to take action. And for that, nothing beats a simple, direct plan that works in the real world. Now that you understand how the cycle works, it's time to break it once and for all. The action plan to take back control is simple but requires consistency. Here we go. First, turn off all notifications. Yes, all of them. Your brain needs silence, not a siren every time someone likes your photo. The second step is to set fixed times to check social media. Don't make this a spontaneous activity. Set a time and stick to that limit. The third step is to create spaces of absolute focus. Find a place where you can work or study without distractions. Keep your phone far away and use techniques like Pomodoro to maintain focus. Fourth, it's time to reward yourself in a healthy way. Replace quick dopamine likes with a real reward, such as quality rest or something that truly brings you pleasure without technology. And finally, do daily check-ins. Ask yourself how your day went. Was I in control? Honesty here is crucial. This plan is simple, but powerful. By following these steps, you won't just take back control, but you'll start to realize it's possible to live well without being constantly connected. Now, if you want to take the next step and become rare, the time has come to make a decisive move. The challenge is simple but powerful: 7 days without the distractions consuming your life. This means a complete dopamine detox. For 1 week, you'll disconnect from social media, videos, and notifications, and reconnect with what truly matters. It may seem like a sacrifice, but I guarantee you one thing: the benefits will be clear, and the results, surprising the high in the first days. You'll feel the discomfort of withdrawal. The urge to grab your phone will be strong, but don't give in. Use this time to start developing habits that truly add value to your life. Meditate, read, write, exercise. After 7 days, your mind will be clearer, and you'll realize how simple things can be more rewarding than endless scrolling through a timeline. Now, the trick is to keep going. This detox isn't just about the 7 days, but about turning those days into a new reality. You'll become rare, someone who knows how to live with balance. And when you look at others, you'll see that the vast majority are still enslaved to stimuli. But not you. You're different. You did the reset. Now, enjoy the benefits.